What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for tuning in. It's me, Mikey Pipes. It is Tuesday, June 16th, 2026, and it is 3 p.m. I'm by my pool. My guys are headed home. Today, we installed a 3-ton, 36,000 BTU ACiQ heat pump system to replace a 5 and a 3-ton, totally mismatched system. This is their second ACiQ system, but we ran into a problem. We ran into a problem where if I didn't have the parts, they wouldn't have functional air conditioning this evening. But as an ACiQ Gold Dealer, the parts, well, let's just say we have access to them. Check out this install video. It's quite long. We have the outdoor unit being done by like 9:45, the indoor unit done by like 12, but we ran into a hiccup, and it was dead out of the box. But the superior folks running the tech service department at ACiQ got us up and running. You're gonna love this video, I guarantee it. Ready? Let's go. Here we go. Here we go, folks. Let's get the show on the road. 7:29 and 18 seconds on the 16th of June, 2026. We got this ACiQ 36 HPD. This is the Extreme Plus outdoor heat pump condensing unit. Fully communicating or use with 24 volts. 2 separate terminals, so don't get them confused and don't zap the board. The manufacturer of this equipment is One HVAC Energy LLC. This company has been around since the 1930s. So we're dealing with almost a century-old company that has been dealing with air and air products, man, since like the golden years, the golden age. Look at how James and Derek manhandling that beast. Manhandling it. Derek, you want to give anyone a shout out?
Myself. Follow my
wow.
Young HVAC Gold.
That's right. Bow. And don't forget James with
Plum Guy NY at I almost said at gmail.com because I want people to email me for free stickers.
Yeah.
But Plum Guy NY on YouTube. Check me out. Just hit 1,100 subscribers. Yes. Crazy.
All right, folks, let's get rocking and rolling. Right now, Derek is using an adjustable wrench. He could be using a socket, but it's all good. It's all good. So here is that 4-ton that we installed about 2 weeks ago to replace a 3-ton outdoor with a 5-ton indoor. Yeah, the guys weren't really that smart when they put these Coleman outdoor condensing units in with American Standard-Trane TAM7 air handlers. So we did this one a couple weeks ago. Nice, sweet install. We mounted the unit to the brick of the chimney. We used the Rector Seal WB300 wall mount bracket. Looks nice. We also used the Mikey Pipes power management system. This is my MP SPD-01. What's great about this is that we have surge protection, GCFI with breaker, and we have power monitoring for over and undercurrent. This is manufactured by me right here in Woodmere, New York. If you're interested in getting one, they start at $175 up to about $215 with or without whips. 6-foot, 10-foot whips, 10 and 12 gauge wiring. Go to mikeypipes.com/shop to buy one. 100% of all proceeds go to my nonprofit, the Mikey Pipes Philanthropy Charitable Organization, where we provide free or low-cost plumbing, heating, and cooling services to those in the community who can't afford to hire a professional. All right, folks. Today we're taking out this 5-ton Goodman. There's that 60 right here. 5-ton Goodman. Straight, cool only, micro-channel coil with the indoor unit. This system has a leak in the micro-channel coil. There's no refrigerant in it whatsoever. So we're going to be decommissioning this, decommissioning the indoor air handler, and putting in that 3-ton Mikey Pipes powered by ACiQ. And I'm going to record it all with my Meta glasses and my iPhone 11 SE. Are you ready? Let's go. All right, now that power's off, let's have some fun with the electrical. So this is load. This one is also load. Now we have L1, L2, and ground. Let's use our multimeter to confirm that it's off. Nothing, nothing, nothing. All right, so there is line coming in. Here is that ground. That be quiet. All right, let's take out here and here our disconnect panel. Now it comes out. So with the exception of our low voltage, the unit is disconnected. All right, now that our disconnect panel is off the wall, let's set up the new panel. Now, I build these myself. We have the earlier models that have surge protection outside. My newer models is going to have a rail mounted or DIN mounted surge protection device inside the outdoor waterproof box. When I build these things, there's a connection point for you to hook up incoming L1, L2. I'll show you what that is in a second. So there that is. Take a look at all the internal wiring. Right here, and right here, these are all of our field connected incoming line voltage connections. So we have ground, which is coming from our source and going to our equipment. We have L1 or L2, line 1, line 2 coming in. On the opposite side, we're going to have our equipment leaving. So that's after this power protection device module. Let's get this thing on the mounted to the wall. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drill out that corner right here to bring in our line voltage. I'm just going to use a step bit on my drill. Make sure the back is clear. There that is. Beautiful. Good enough for a watertight connection. Derek! How you doing?
I'm good.
You know, you were here 2 weeks ago when we put this in, right?
Yeah, this?
Yeah, that. And then remember when Daniel was leak testing this one?
Yeah.
It was Daniel, right? Mm-hmm. He was the one who was spraying with the spray bottle, right?
Yeah.
Was it you? Did you do any spraying? No?
I was there.
I'm going to... You were what?
I was watching though.
Gotcha. I'm going to give you some very good advice that's going to allow you to move mountains. Right? When the A-man F's up and you catch it and you save the day, it makes you look like a superstar. For example, if you catch him leaving what's inside the bottom of this unit on the job, right? It makes you look like wow, Derek really stepped up to his A game. Right? Damn. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Folks, you're about to see what Daniel left inside this Coleman R410A 5-ton straight cool outdoor unit. You're about to see it in a hot minute, folks. I'm not joking. Look, it's 753. I didn't plant this in there.
Damn, Daniel's twisted.
Daniel's, damn. And I bet you he was looking for it too. You know what he did? He probably took a new one from the shop and was going to blame it on Derek. Look at that. We have the big blue, the micro leak detector. Daniel. Oh man, I got none of it on video. I know.
Really? But you're recording.
Now I am.
Oh.
I went to push it saying it was done recording and it went boop boop like it was. Let's just, yeah, whatever. Off to the side. All right, we're about to mount this outdoor condensing unit to the wall of the home. So we'll do a quick little height. 38 inches. I believe this one is not as tall. No, it's also 38 inches. 38. I thought that the 3-ton was going to be a little bit shorter than the 4-ton, but it's not. We'll be all right. Now the spread, center to center, is 24 1/4. Let's get that wall mount bracket on the wall. For our wall mount bracket, I'm not using the Rector Seal. I'm using the Mitco. This is their E397-300BM. It's identical to the Rector Seal. Identical in everything except for price. Identical in everything except for price. All right, the wall mount bracket is on the wall. Nice and plumb. Surge protection devices on the wall. Now, before I mounted this to the wall, I wasn't looking for center of the window. We weren't doing that. We're just looking to keep the same elevation as the other unit and the future units as well. Keep them all like parallel and looking nice. I took a measurement between the center of the 2 feet, or the 2 mounting brackets on the left and right hand side. I got 24 3/4 inches. Sorry, 24 1/4 inches. And then from center to our center of our line set connection, those flares connections on the back of the unit, 9 inches. So we have 9 inches there, 24 1/4 there. Let's get the unit on the wall. Okay. That was my finger.
Wait. Good.
Okay. Just catch a screw. All right, and then we're going to pull it forward. Yeah, they're all right. Got my finger. Just gotta get the one in the back and then make some adjustments to the feet so it looks level. There's way too much, I guess, sag when we're bolting the wall mount bracket to the wall, and our front is now higher than the back. So we're gonna build some shims here, put behind here. That way we can bolt it to the ground, to the floor, to the wall. Blah. This is take 3. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it looks level. Almost. Now we haven't put anything in yet. Man, it's still off a little bit. You mother flower, you. Wow. All right, we'll get the bolts in. Beautiful. Derek taught us a new word, sturdy. And she's sturdy. Yeah, baby. Oh, I think I did it a little bit too much. But that, folks, is sturdy. All right, folks. 8:29. Bow. Man, she looks so nice, by the way. She looks so nice. Wow. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Our elevation is identical to the 4-ton that we did a couple weeks ago. There's that 3, here's the 4. We still have these 2 remaining, but you know what they say, Rome wasn't built overnight. Yeah, baby. All right, folks, let's get rocking and rolling here. I have 2 lines. I have this 3/8 and this 3/4. The 3/4 went down and across and connected to our suction side valve on that 5-ton condenser. It's going to connect to this flare joint up on top. So ideally, we want to flip this around, but I'm not going to be able to flip it around. So I'm going to cut here. We're going to throw on a Zoom Lock 90 here, come up, and with a single piece of pipe, make a bend and flare right into that 3/4 inch flare joint. This 3/8, I'm going to use this straightener right now to straighten that up. We're going to make some bends right now and make it look tits. Sorry, it's the only word I can think for it. Come on, baby. Here we go. I already hear the comments in the peanut gallery. Mikey Pipes, if you can't bend by hand, you stick with plumbing. Well, let's see you make it look like that. All right, for that 3/4, I'm using my little tubing cutter. Okay, I'm gonna use the deburring tool and deburr that, and then get some emery paper, open mesh grip paper, and clean the outside, preparing it for the Zoom Lock. All right, we're gonna do a little multitasking here. I'm gonna be doing the electrical and the line set at the same time. At Pipe Doctor, we make our own whips, which is what this is called. I'm using 1/2-inch Liquidite, and I have 2 conductors with ground. Since this system only uses around 20 amps of power, 29, oh, I was wrong. The minimum is 30, so 29 amps. Sorry. We're using 10 gauge wire. This is stranded 10 gauge, perfectly fine for 30 amps of power that the system uses at max capacity, and it never uses that anyway. You're going to see later on during this video when we fire this up and we're looking at the real-time power monitor displaying amperage, power factor, wattage, voltage, all that good stuff, and we'll follow up and some redundancy using our Fluke multimeter, clamp-on multimeter, and I'll show you how little power these systems uses. This is your first time watching one of my videos. My name is Mike Dyack. I'm a licensed master plumber and HVAC contractor in the states of Florida, South Carolina, and New York. Today we're on Long Island, New York, and we are working with a residential client that needed to upgrade his system because of that leak. And I document my videos, not only to promote transparency, but because we're quite proud of the work that we do. And I've built quite a name in my community for that transparency. I am also the brand ambassador for ACiQ. ACiQ is based in Ohio. It's an American company, family owned and operated right in Troy, Ohio, on the outskirts of Dayton. And the company is pretty cool. The company's been around since the 1930s. And the company employs almost 1,000 people in the United States. So when you're buying ACiQ, you are supporting American families. Now, if you recall earlier with our power module, power management device, it's rail mounted. I'm just going to slide everything over right now. We have a couple field connections. We have our ground. So we're going to crimp that back a little bit. Okay, that ground. You know what? I'm wondering, you know what? I'm going to go around with it. I wasn't actually, let's see. I was going to go that way with it, but you know what? Let's go around here with it like that. Here's our ground. Perfect. Okay. Ground is still long. Perfect. Let's get all that in there. Okay. Beautiful. Now we have L1, L2. So one. One is going to go right there. Perfect. All right. And then the other one is going to go right there. So let's crimp this back. This is exactly what you'll be doing in the field if you purchase my power management device on MikeyPipes.com. There it goes there. Okay. Make sure they're all good. Perfect. Let's get the cover on, slide everything there, center, and get our whip in and get the power on. All right, now that my front cover is secure, we're going to work on the electrical. Now, this is pretty straightforward, but there's one tip I want to show you on how to make your life a little bit easier when you are working on the electrical with the ACiQ systems. That's the electrical access cover that's removed. We're going to remove this, the knockout connector. Okay. Now, you can spend forever trying to hit this with a flat slotted screwdriver and a pair of channel locks or needle nose, but it's never going to come out, I'm telling you. I'm using a 1/2-inch whip, so I'm going to knock out here for my line voltage, and I'm going to knock out on the opposite side there. I'm putting an angle connector here. So our line set's going to go, our whip is going to go down, loop around, secure it to here, and then turn in and come on the side right there. And the only way to get these out, brute force. See, there's one, there's two. That is the only way to get these out, unless you're going to drill them out. So, word of advice, don't waste your time. All right, the electrical connections, well, they're pretty straightforward. L1, L2, and on ground. Some guys like to use a crimp connector on there. I just like to bring my copper straight to the terminal, with the exception of like the ductless units that I'll put on crimp connectors. But there's L1, L2, and ground. Let's work on our line set. All right. About 3 minutes to 9 here in the morning. Still that Tuesday, the 16th of June. Yeah, a lot of people ask me, including my friends at ACiQ, ask me all the time, Mikey Pipes, how is it that you get jobs done in record-breaking time? You must be cutting corners. Well, folks, no, I don't cut corners. I've been there, done that. All right, I've worked for companies that, or I've seen work with companies that like to cut corners, but when you do that, you're only cheating yourself, right, out of the professionalism of the trade. The way we get our job done is with the right tools for the job, which is why on this job, while I'm recording content, by the way, so you've noticed that I'm recording content and getting the job done in record-breaking times. How am I doing it? The right tools for the job and the right leadership. I don't really consider myself a leader, but I like to consider myself a craftsman who respects the trade and is proud of the work that we do. We're going to be putting a 90-degree bend on this piece of soft 3/4 inch ACR tubing, right? And it has not been capped off when it was in storage, so we have all those moisture molecules on the inside of the piping, and that's going to take a long time for it to vacuum out, but I'm not too worried about that right now. We're going to come up from that 90 that I put there, and yes, I guess I could swedge one end, braze it, but I'm right next to the siding. I don't want to melt anything. I don't want to burn anything down. I also don't want to get nitrogen out of the truck, so I'm a little lazy. But what we're going to do is we're going to put a bend on this pipe right there. It could be a little longer right now, just a random 90-degree turn. Watch this, folks. Watch what that does. Kicks it out. Look at that. Look how sweet that 90 is. Now, this is going to go there into that long-term 90 that I put there. All right? Now, we need to get there. This is going to be in there a little bit more. Probably like that. All right? I thought I was recording. I recorded nothing. Oh my God, I recorded nothing. I'm gonna blame it on Derek. Now, that's gonna go there. I should probably go out a little bit more, like right there. We'll center that up, line that up. We're gonna put a little flare. I'm gonna cut that right there. And as Derek would say, sturdy. I have a funny feeling that my flare nut is going to be interrupted by that bend in the copper. What do you think? What do you think, folks? Let's see. I'm even going to show off a little. Watch this. Watch this. See, I even deburred the pipe for you. Oh wow, fit right on there. That's crazy. All right, let's just dry fit this. Let's go in there. I think we'll be all right. Now, let's get that flaring tool, lock into place, press the button, helps have a battery. Oh man, why am I missing a battery? Why am I missing a battery? It's $1 million question. Wow. That's impressive. Okay. So here is that flare. And no, I'm not putting any nylog on it. Get out of here, your nylog stuff. That's gonna go there. That will spin on right there. I'm just dry fitting right now, folks. Relax with the comments. Mikey Pipes, you didn't press it in on the 90. What are you doing tightening it up for? Just dry fitting. You know what? I thought it was going to be perfectly parallel because I measured 9 inches center from our feet to the hole, but it's a little fakaked. You know, once you put the armor flex on there, the insulation, I don't think you'll even notice. Not too shabby, huh? Almost looks like I know what I'm doing. Let's zoom lock that bad boy in. Got a little bit of a hole here. There we go, right there. She's on. Let's press the trigger. Where's the trigger? There it is. Okay. There it is. There's a braze-free HVACR fitting. Pressed right in. Beautiful. What, you don't use a PVC cutter to cut your armor flex? Stop it. All right. This thing hasn't been acting right in a while. Oh, there you go. Let's get the armor flex over the zoom lock long turn 90. Get that in there. It's good to insulate the line set. Push that in there. Now that's gonna line up right there. You guys know that if you don't get this on by hand, something's wrong, right? You should be able to tighten it up, hand tight, all the way down to the bottom of the threads. Right now I'm applying pressure to it because that side was a little too deep. There's that. Let's get our torque wrench, tighten that up. Another way that I get my jobs done with such speed and efficiency is by utilizing ACiQ. I have less variation of equipment that I'm installing. ACiQ systems are built to help me and you standardize your installs across various job types, whether you're doing mini splits, ductless, all that good stuff. Right? If we standardize the type of equipment we install, whether it's a particular brand or model, and not just ACiQ, right? But if you standardize your installs across various job types, your team can work faster, more consistently, without sacrificing quality. When your crew knows the equipment, the installs become more predictable. And predictable installs mean fewer issues, fewer callbacks, and better results. All right, to tighten up our 3/4 inch line, the manual on page 18 states the tightening torque shall be 67 to 100 Newton meters. I'm pretty sure that's what NM stands for. Okay. So I have my Black Max set to setting 6, which is 85. Let's get that on there. Hold it back. And if we look at the dial, the gauge, it will tell us. $95. Beautiful. Amazing. And now with this 3/8, I have less forgiveness here. I can only get it right once. So I got my old school rigid bender. This is the model 456. I had this, I don't know, almost 30 years ago. It does quarter, 5/16 and 3/8. I've made, as you can tell by the 3/8 flare bending joint that I've done a lot. I've done a few for ice maker tubing, which is that 1/4 inch, but I've done a lot with this, and it's done very well for me. And it's that one tool that I have not lost. I have one tool that I have not lost. Yeah, it's one tool I have not lost. We're gonna get that in there. All right, I want to try to get this in as close to that 3/4 as possible. That's gonna go right there. My bend is gonna be right there. See that? Right there? And that's gonna put us right there. So let me see if I can get it a little bit more. Perfect. Let's bend up. Put that 90 on it, which will be right there. Okay. Try to wiggle it out of there if we can. Beautiful. Come on, get out of there. Come on. Get out. Get out. There you go. Okay, that's exactly how I wanted it to look. Now, I'm going to put another 90 here, and then a little 45 kick to get to our flare joint. Yeah. See if I can go up with this a little bit more. Straighten that out. Will it be okay? Yeah. And we'll be all right. So folks, while we're talking about standardization wins, bro. And why, you may be asking? Well, when you have fewer install variables, your team knows the system before they arrive. Think about it, guys. How many RTFM? How many read the factory manual? Seriously. And when you know the equipment, you're going to get a better installed final product. Just keeping it real, right? If you know the equipment like the back of your hand, right, blindfolded, with your hands tied behind your back, you are going to be able to deliver a phenomenal install product. That's going to lead to reduced callbacks, right? And sustainable growth. Now, I don't care if you install ACiQ or not. I think if you don't, you're a fool. But just keeping it real. What did I do with the nut? There it is. All right. I don't want to settle for cheap builder's grade. I want to install products where I'm proud of the equipment and I know that I'm supporting fellow Americans. Now, granted, yes, the equipment is made in China. Okay? Let's keep it real. What's not made in China? But for a company to employ almost 1,000 Americans in the United States is phenomenal. You know, across their locations in Ohio, in the outskirts, the suburbs of Atlanta, Albany, Oregon, right? Beautiful. And it's going to go right there. So some people may be scared. Mikey Pipes, no one wants side discharge inverters. Everyone wants standardized equipment. Yeah, everyone thought they didn't want automatic transmissions until it became common, right? Keeping it real. All right, now back to our flaring. Our torque wrench. 3/8 is 32 to 39. Yeah, let's go to setting number 2. It's 42 pounds. Let's give it a little bit extra on there. Let's tighten that up a little bit, it's a little loose. And it looks like 39 right there. Perfect. You're welcome. ACiQ 36 PAH. No more brazing. We got flare joints on our indoor and the outdoor equipment. Okay. Is it heavy?
I mean,
I'm just gonna carry it
okay.
instead of going down the stairs
Okay.
with the hand truck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you want to take a break, we'll take a break.
No, it's just a weird position.
Oh, Derek's behind you. I'm almost down. I think I'm down.
I think you are down.
Yeah. Hold on. You got one more step. We got an automatic air vent on the floor.
Just gonna put it down for now.
Okay. There she is. Derek, you know what I'm also missing? In my Navic automatic flaring tool,
The charger?
the charger, the battery's not there.
I took it out.
It's charging.
Oh, it's charging. Oh, okay. Got me. I got you. Thank you for getting me. I appreciate you. You have to cut the top, really? Not gonna slide in there like I'm gonna slide into your girl's DMs later tonight?
54, I
No.
think the coil is 4.
Is that still a thing, Derek? What do you call it when you want to slide in someone's DMs? You still say that?
Yeah,
trying to
no,
mac it
not
with
gonna
her.
slide
Trying to
out.
mac it with her?
Trying to mac with your shorties, man.
Oh. I think that his woman would suffocate you.
She hates me.
Where's this coil? Will that coil on a box?
She hates you?
Yeah.
Does she really hate Derek?
Who hates Derek?
Your lady friend.
No, not at
Oh.
all.
Oh, okay, get my knife.
Why don't you keep your knife in your belt?
Oh, because I was using it to cut the tape off. Because it was like annoying.
No, they think Derek's funny.
Yeah? Sturdy. Again, he gives you his knife back to you. Is he wearing a belt? Oh, he's wearing a belt today.
I always wear both. Well, my pants are too big.
What size pants do you need? Oh, you need toddler, 3T.
30-30, bro.
You need, no, 30-30?
I have 30,
30,
32, I
32.
think.
What size is your waist?
I don't know. It's probably like 28.
So you need a 28. You don't need a 30.
It's because I don't like it tight.
I hear you.
I'm weird that way.
You think you're a wigger, but you're not white.
Wiggy.
Wigger. It would be really nice if ACiQ made hydronic fan coils as a modular piece that could just buckle onto the unit.
It would be because they don't make the size that would be ideal anymore.
Yeah.
From this company.
That sucks. I think I'm going to send a text message to the owner of ACiQ. His name is Kevin. He's a really nice guy. But I'm going to send him that message that the video that I just recorded. I'm going to send it to him.
What, that we need a coil?
Yeah, I need a coil. You know there's not a hold button on the TL04 thermostats?
I mean, yeah, it's like Nest or Ecobee.
It'd be nice to have a hold button.
Directed duct flattening tool. You know what I'm talking about? The handheld one.
Why don't you just cut it with the grinder? No?
Uh,
Because you give it more airflow. When you bend it down, you give it more airflow. You reduce the airflow.
I guess if you want to get the grinder then.
Well, how about we take all this off? Can we do that and just like cut it out outside, or just zip here, zip here? No? I'm just curious, but I don't want to like
It's a little like
a pain in the ass.
janky once you do that, because then this is like kind of what's holding it nicely.
But bending in it doesn't cause any static issues?
I mean, no, look at the size of the hole here.
That's true. All right. Get the bender. You went to the truck to get the grind. You see, a good technician is observant of your surroundings. Just like we had. Oh, you didn't tell Daniel about that yet?
What? Oh, the leak, the big blue.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You left it in the outdoor unit.
I didn't know it was mine.
Oh, so what? So because it wasn't yours, you left it in there?
No, I just didn't think to put it away because I never took it out for my truck.
Ah, but you didn't notice it at the bottom of the condensing unit?
I didn't, because I didn't put the cover back on.
Okay. Oh, who put the cover on?
I don't know. Probably
Gio?
Derek?
Was Jarek here for the last one?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was definitely.
It was Derek? Yeah? Oh, because you said yes, because it was like one of his first jobs he was back for. You were very thankful you had Derek instead of Gio.
I'm very thankful to have Derek.
Yeah. But Derek put the cover on. Derek doesn't lack situational awareness. Oh well. All right, right now I am doing the electrical data communication wire from the air handling unit to our outdoor unit. Now, when I order my ACiQ equipment, I also get a lot of the installation material. So, like the communication wire, I bought a roll of, I think it's 1,000 feet of 2-wire shielded communication wire. So that's what we're using here on that. And that's gonna go right there. That goes there. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, it looks like I probably need another one down there though to make that look more official. I guess I'll put one there too. Make it look nice. So I've been installing ACiQ equipment since February 2025. So about 16 months right now. Probably installed maybe about 150 pieces of equipment. Not systems, 150 pieces of equipment. So indoor, outdoor units, ductless, some ceiling cassettes, wall mounted, floor mounted, and just gonna keep it real. I've seen one failure out of the box where we had a substantial evaporator coil leak. Not substantial, it's not like it was whatever. It had no nitrogen in it. And they sent me a brand new unit the next day. And in the meantime, I took a 3-ton unit that I had for another customer that was being installed a few days later, and I stole the coil from there. So it speaks about the type of equipment that we have. So that is a incredibly low failure rate. Right? They claim to be at 0.03% after 1 year of operation, and half of those failures are due to bad flare joints. Yeah, you can mess up a flare joint. This is their claim. Now, they can make that up, but I don't think they have any reason to lie. Their tech support, if you're a dealer, and you have a commitment with them. Again, not really a contract, but not like, you buy equipment from them. They don't ask you anything up front. You don't gotta pay to become a dealer. But if you have a commitment with them, they'll have a commitment with you. They'll give you co-op funds. They'll build a website for you. They'll help you get that digital presence. They'll even build you a custom private label. Look at this. Look at this unit right here. This is the 4-ton. See that? Where do you see the name of the equipment? Let's go over here to the rating plate. Outdoor model, ACiQ 48 HPD. High performance discharge. There's our power source. Serial number is down there. Same thing, there's a model serial number. But let's look for anything here. We have one HVAC Energy LLC. That's it. Private label ready out of the box. Using that R454B refrigerant. Guys, if you can't get R54B now in 2020, sorry, battery died. If you don't have access to R54B, well, hang up your gauges, stay home and retire, because I can easily get it anywhere. Okay, and it's not cheap, about $400 for 20 pounds, but it is what it is. Folks, it's 5 minutes after 10. Let me start preparing for a pressure test. Yeah, and I made content of me installing this every step of the way. Come on, guys. move with a purpose. You have standardization of equipment. You know the equipment leads to higher performing installs, a more an amazing team and crew with amazing. They just feel good at the end of the day installing this stuff. What are you waiting for? Go to aciq.com/Mikey Pipes. All right, folks. Took a little intermission. Helped out Daniel in the basement a little bit off camera. It is 11:35. We're going to pump down the system. We did a nitrogen test. That passed. There you go. Take out our Schrader core valves out of the 2 service ports on the high and low side. Hook up our vacuum pump with the vacuum hoses. And this one has always given me problems. There you go. Beautiful. Using the field piece VC2G. What the hell's going on here? There you go. Excuse me. Put you right there. Let's get the other one on up here. I'm going to be using 2 sets of hoses today. I'm going to use the AccuTools True Blue. We're going to put that on that 3/8 side. Let's get that on our field piece VP67 vacuum pump. Put you right there. And these stupid wing nuts that hold on the adapters onto the vacuum hose by AccuTools. It's so annoying. It's so big. So you can't use the next port over. That's alright, I should stop complaining, right? Let's go into here. Here I'm going to use the Appion hoses. That should be fine. And we'll use 2 micron gauges. Okay. Let's get this onto here. And the other one we will get on, I guess right there. Hose was not being too cooperative, but we'll be alright. Alright. Now that our hoses are set up, let's get the micron gauges. Got this Navic. I just picked this up recently. I think last week, before last. I think this is going to be the first time we're using it in the field. Let's turn that on. Put the T on. Okay. Get you one right there. And let's get the AccuTools one. Now there's a depressor on one end. You want to put that end on the side going towards the valve. Right, otherwise you'll be vacuuming and it won't change. Let's put that right there. Okay. Alright, let's go. Turn the pump on. The valve handle is parallel, it's on. It's perpendicular, it's off. Open, open. High pressure, dash, 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 dash. Let's see how long this takes. It is 11, almost 40 and 30 seconds. For a split second, this said 75,000, by the way. For a split second. That one says sleep. Sleep and nothing. $67,500. That one still says sleep. 60,000. Sleep. Interesting. Yeah, we'll see. 1142. 10,535. 9,642. 2,800 and dropping. So our True Blue hose, which tries to say that their hoses are better than everyone else because of the inside diameter of the hose, right? That is on the 3/8 line, which has at 7,800 microns. The Appion hose, right, is at 1,300, 1,270, 1,250, 1,200 microns. And that's on the 3/4 inch line set. So is AccuTools BSing us, folks? I don't know, folks. You know, I have multiple AccuTools True Blue evacuation sets that I probably spent thousands of dollars on. The professional kit, not the starter kit, retails, when you factor in the micron gauge, about $1,100, $1,200, right? I got those Appion hoses with the Vito hose hauler. I think it was like $350 from True Tech Tools, right? How is it that our Appion hoses are at 560 microns, yet the True Blue, and that's on a 3/4 inch line, why is it that my True Blue on a 3/8 line is at 6275? Sorry, 6272. And not even moving. Oh, 6204. There's no decimal point there, folks. That's 6,204. That's at 400. Look at that. That's crazy. And it's not even 12 o'clock yet. Wow. I don't know. Maybe I should get some Amazon hoses and see how they work out, right? Probably won't last that long, but crazy. I gotta tell you, the AccuTools hose is really starting to piss me off. And I don't know if it's the micron gauge or if it's the hose or a combination of both. But my Appion is at 190 microns. My other one is at 5,423. Earlier, we were talking about standardizing your jobs. You see these two heat pump units? These are side discharge, inverter-driven compressors, fully communicating, right? Less guesswork, better installs. Look at this. This was the one we did 2 weeks ago. We have the surge protection device there. We made the line set look a little nice. I used lots of zip ties, but I didn't secure the whip to anything here. On my next install, I did a little bit better. Look at that. Also, my surge protection device, I threw on some 1/2 inch liquid tight clamps to secure that to the wall of the home. Looking really, really, really nice. The only thing is I wish my center was a little bit more centered, but whatever. Right, when you introduce more variation into your installs, right, you have more room for problems. And I don't really think there's no problems, only solutions. But these ACiQ systems, seriously, are built to help standardize your installs across job types. Whether that's, high efficiency, high performance heat pumps like you have here, central or single multi-zone air handling systems, whether it's an air handler ducted with a wall, floor, ceiling cassette, slim ceiling cassette, right? They have a solution. You can run a ducted central system with ductless zones off the same outdoor unit. You could save and solve problems, and they become solutions. And that's what ACiQ helps me do, increase my bottom line with solutions to score more jobs with fewer system types, with one platform that expands whatever you need. Look at this. These systems are simply beautiful. Excellent. Speed. It doesn't come from rushing your installs. It comes from using systems your team already understands. My team understands the equipment that we put in because it's the same equipment, just different sizes. Day after day, week after month, week after month, week after week, and month after month. You know, 16 months installing ACiQ equipment. I have, I don't know, my clients love them. Forget about increasing your bottom line. Forget about offering, you know, the best in technology. What matters most is that the client is happy. Look at this thing. This thing is beautiful. Look at how narrow it is in depth. It's beautiful. Look at this. Look. All we need is 8 inches there, folks, and we got it. The wall mount bracket's off the ground. You don't have to worry about those weed whackers, the landscapers banging into things. You don't have to worry about, look, thing's buried. This one was buried. You can see how we cleared around it. You don't got to worry about buried outdoor units anymore. Put them off the floor, especially if you live in a cold climate where you got that ice and snow. If you're down south, I get it. You don't need the Extreme Plus. Get the regular Extreme. But the Extreme Pluses, they go down to negative 22 degrees and give you 100% at around negative 15. And by the way, operates up to 125 degrees of outdoor temperature. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What's not beautiful is how this thing went to sleep on me. Right? Why did it go to sleep on me? $155. Let's close that valve off. Well, you know, that one's good. This one, I don't know. This one's behaving like this one's behaving like there's something wrong with the vacuum hose, to be honest with you. Let's open this back up. All right. 5423. It's reverse, folks. You guys can figure it out. Okay? 5480. Now it's making a fool of me. I wonder if there's something wrong with this hose. $220, $210, $200. And I know you're thinking, Mikey Pipes, this is overkill. What are you doing? You have to go to 500 microns. What are you doing? Like, that's 548. Come on. No, it's 5,480. But this is the one part of the job that you can never rush. It's either going to be done right or you're not going to do it at all. All right, I'm very curious. Let's close this off. Let's close that off. Okay. 5653. Okay. Oh my God, the thing was lying to me the whole time. Look at that. Look at that. $112. Let's open up this one. Oh, now it's going down. What the hell, man? 116, 280, 270, 260, 250. Oh, man. Wish I could just purge and with R22 and call it a day. 87, 128. Closing the valve. Stop it. Shut up. Shut up. 172 and drop. I don't know why this thing beeps. It's so annoying. 168, 204, 205, 207. Yeah, we're good. I never even closed the gas ballast. Sweet. Gonna get an adjustable and our service valve wrench. Now what's great about the ACiQ products, I don't need to get my Allen keys out to open up these service valves. Right? It's a regular service wrench. Works on all their equipment. Let's close that off. Close that off. I'm gonna dump the liquid first. One complaint I have is that, oh, now it came out, of course. I'm about to bitch and complain that the service wrench doesn't like to come out easily. And it comes out easily, perfectly just fine for me just now. Now we have approximately 20-foot line set, so I'm not going to add any refrigerant. No need to. See? Don't want to come out easy. It's so annoying. There you go. Let's put those caps back on, put our cores back in, get the power on, fire up. All right. Start wrapping it up here. Sometimes it's easier to do it that way. I don't know. I'm going to try that test again. The Appion versus the AccuTools and see who wins. You know? Maybe use the same micron gauge. I do have plenty of the AccuTool micron gauges. At least that way we don't have any margin of error. All right, there's that Schrader valve. These never want to like loosen up. Like it gets all the way down there. Like both of them. Oh, it's so annoying. I'm just gonna put that so I can see the sight glass. Put that in there. Okay, open up that. Obviously, when you open it, if something starts spraying, close it. All right, we're gonna push that in. Little click. Turn. Pull the valve out. Pull the core tool out. Close. Open. And if it still hisses, that means your valve core is not in. Okay, there's that. Put this on there. Make it nice and tight. Remember, these caps are your first line of defense against refrigerant leaks. Remember this, folks. Only you can prevent forest fires. Okay, let's get that piece of plastic back on. Fire up. Let's make sure that's off. That's on. That's off. Let's get some power. All right, I just turned power on. Got green light there. Power's on. If you look inside here, we have 0, 0. So we are good, folks. We are good. In more dimmer lighting conditions, you'll see this lit up. So hopefully before we wrap it up here, we'll get some shade here and I'll show you the screen. If not, I got plenty of videos on this. This is the Mikey Pipes surge protection device, available directly from me, made in the great state of New York. Hey Daniel, you want to show the folks the trick on how to get those plugs out that are Chinese?
Oh, it's so stupid. So I have to put drill bit attachment into my Nipex wire strippers, and this is the only tool that it works with. And stick it in here really tight so it doesn't strip. Oh, like that.
If I saw it turn.
There.
That is ridiculous. Just keeping it uncut, unedited, raw. Oh man, so you know why this? Oh. There it is. Good job, Daniel. Welcome You've got mail. Derek. Oh, come on, Derek. You put it upside down. You know what? This is gonna make the A roll.
Just take out the screws and you're gonna flip it. Just take them out all the way. And flip it over. You didn't see that this has a perfect imprint in the thing. Oh. It's gone forever now.
It's actually right there by my foot.
Oh. There you go.
Let's say John 3:16. No,
14:6.
14:6. What is John 14:6? Don't tell him.
Jesus says, I am the way, truth, and the life, and the only way to get to the Father is through me. That's what Jesus said.
Jesus?
Yeah, Jesucristo.
Jesucristo?
He didn't say it in English, though.
Nah, he said it in
Aramaic?
Yeah, Jesus was Jewish, no?
Yes, he was.
Yeah. You know who killed the Jews? I mean, you know who killed Jesus?
Yes. He was sentenced to death by Julius Caesar.
Pontius Pilate.
Pontius Pilate.
Whatever. That was close
At the
though.
request of who?
At the request of whom?
It had to be Julius Caesar.
Nope.
No.
Oh,
The Jews.
oh shit.
And who did they free? Because it was on
Yeah,
that
it was-
day the Jews
yeah.
could have someone released from.
It was either
prison.
Jesus or someone else. I forget though.
So they released a horrible criminal
Instead
and
of
then
Jesus.
took Jesus.
Yeah, I know.
Why? Because he was walking on water?
Because he claimed he was the.
Because
He claims he was the son of God.
They said he was a blasphemer.
A blasphemer?
Blasphemer.
Blasphemy.
Yeah. Basically.
Barabbas. That was the criminal that they let go.
Did you learn that in Catholic school? Parochial school?
Yeah, but I was just watching something.
Make sure that cover plate is straight, because right now it's crooked.
I was watching something recently. That had all that stuff in it.
You see here at Pipe Doctor Home Service, you also get a religious experience.
And Gaius, I think it was Gaius, was a Roman praetor who
I think I heard of that guy.
he didn't like Jesus.
Oh my
at first.
God, there's something wrong with Derek.
His daughter got-
Whatever's wrong with Derek, he still does much better than Gio.
I really want to see if this wiring works. So can you?
Can you like hustle?
Can you like hurry up?
And look, you had nasty paw prints all over the wall.
I just cleaned it too.
Yeah, you gotta clean it again. Why don't you hold? There you go. Hold the screw. Stop spinning the screws.
Alright. Yeah, it's already.
I know. Not as bad as Gio though.
Derek, as bad as you think you are, Gio is a million times worse. So give yourself a pat in the back for that. No, do it. Pat yourself on the. There you go. Welcome. Watch while it spreads its wings. Hello there. We'll guide you through the setup process.
You would think it would already know it's 24 volt because it's powering it.
We'll set it later.
Emergency.
Oh, there's the boiler. Fire it up.
But is the fan gonna come on?
Hope so.
Speed out of control.
Indoor unit fan speed is out of control.
Why?
Well, it says out of control. How about we put the AC on, see if it does a difference with that?
Okay.
Same error?
Yeah.
Indoor unit fan speed is out of control. Maybe there's something's not plugged in correctly. Something's loose. Indoor EH03. EHC3. No, refrigerant sensor is out of range.
EH03?
EH03?
Yeah.
There's no EH03. Oh, indoor unit fans out of control. In doubt, restart the power. Wait as I spread my wings. Oh, 03.
That's normal. As long as it's not EH03. 03, I think it's just, is it stage 1 here? They don't tell you on this thing.
7561. Sounds like it wants to do something.
Yeah.
EH03. So we have a defect out of the box. So folks, we have this EH03 error code. Daniel right now is on phone with tech support.
EH03.
By the way, there was a 30-second hold time. What does it say? Do you have some previously? No. Not communicating with the blower. So is it the board or is it the motor? I never had this error code before. Let's see how quickly ACiQ handles the problem. Stand by.
Blower motor.
How many volts should be there?
The main supply harness, you're gonna have 240 volts.
I thought it was DC.
She didn't say DC. She said
Yeah,
240.
She said 240 volts.
Oh, could be DC. Why'd you go from the other way?
I can't.
Okay, no.
That's. Oh, it's tight. I don't have 240 volts coming out from the control.
You do not.
I do not.
Okay.
We restart, turn on, turn off.
Sure.
What do you got?
See, nothing. Nothing.
That says 0, 0. It doesn't say like nothing on it now.
It's gonna take a second because the thermostat's smart.
Alright. Are you able to check the driver board at CN50? And see if there is voltage.
Check now, just turned on, so. Let's
The
see.
driver board is the one on the back of the board assembly.
Okay.
You're not getting anything there.
Nothing.
Okay. Driver board.
exactly easy to do, considering it's attached. Where am I checking that board?
CN50?
CN50.
Oh, I can't get in there.
What are you gonna do?
Take off.
You have a little more play here. Let me hold it. Like this, maybe.
It's a little sketchy. I think maybe just let it drop down.
Oh, you're good like that. Where's CN50?
Right where the blower is plugged in right here.
The same harness, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the same thing we
Yeah.
just tested.
Sitting there, okay.
Yeah, it should be okay.
Turn power on?
Yeah.
Power's on. I don't think you're gonna get it right away, are you?
Well, I'll just put my wires in there.
Yeah.
My leads in there.
Nothing. Will it instantly come on, or?
When it calls.
All right, we have to wait. We have this. Right? That brick? No?
I don't know.
Oh.
I just don't know. 03. Nothing. Nothing. No, nothing coming out of CN50.
Okay. Alright, can you provide a voltage reading at CN1 on that same driver board?
$240.
240.
So it looks like your driver board is not passing voltage.
That sucks.
Does.
Can't we give it power from here? No, because that'll always be on.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta go. We need a new brick. Wah, wah. Social quality control.
Yeah, that stinks. Well, we've installed so many.
Yeah, that's true. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. This is that 0.03% failure rate, by the way.
Yeah. It's because of the flare connections. I think she thought that was funny.
Yeah, she did think it was funny. She's probably like, how do they know that? She's laughing.
I'm sorry. I love the banter.
So do we. What's her name, by the way?
Yeah, what's your name?
Alexia.
Alexia. Let's see. Hold on. That's your girlfriend? Stop. It's not your girlfriend. Hold on. Let's find out who that is.
Please. You know, the control board smells burnt a little to me. No?
Maybe it's your man.
What? Board specifically or the assembly?
It's probably just my imagination, maybe.
He likes to imagine.
I don't know. Put it right here.
I don't know. It smells like Chinesium.
No.
You're not seeing a burn anywhere, though?
No, it looks fine.
Okay.
But it
Then
doesn't
I'm going
work.
to submit for just that board unless you see something visually that they can't see through the phone.
No.
Just this board, she says?
Just the whole brick, probably. Yeah. The brick.
Is it just that one board, or is it the whole board assembly?
The whole brick. Power brick.
So it would be just that board unless you're seeing a problem with the other boards as well.
I don't know. Can't tell.
That's annoying. I'm gonna take all this thing apart.
I know.
It's retarded.
Control box.
Perfect.
So what we're gonna go with is I heard that there was a burnt smell coming from the board assembly.
Perfect.
Is that cool?
It's true, yeah. No, but it's facts. It's true. It's valid. Right? As you would say, sturdy. Sturdy. That's a sturdy answer.
Perfect. Okay. That's what I am gonna submit for you here.
How fast can we get it?
Right now.
Can you like abracadabra, hocus pocus, magically appear right next to the unit right now? That'd be pretty
Would
cool.
bippity boppity boo work?
You could try.
I don't know how much bippity boppity boo I have, but I could always give it a shot.
You can. Click your heels together 3 times, like send it now, send it now, send it now.
Yeah.
Is there an approval process this has to go through, or is it just tech ops, tech talk?
Just tech talk.
Okay.
But I'm assuming since the phone number that you called in on is our dealer line, I'm assuming
Yes.
you are a gold dealer.
Correct. Yes.
He's the gold dealer.
No, I'm just.
Then you get the gold dealer perks, which means you're jumping to the head of the line, and we're going to go ahead and make this replacement order right now. And the only thing I will need from you is for you to ship that board back to me when you get a chance.
Absolutely.
The board assembly.
Now I have a question for you. Is it the same power module as the other PAHs, like the 24s, 48s, or is it specific to the 36?
They are specific to the 36. They do change depending upon the size of the air handler.
Gotcha. Okay. Maybe I think we have this back up in the shop.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get it. All right.
Yeah, if you want to do that, I can go ahead and get a replacement for
Perfect.
you.
Yeah, I should have. If not, I have a brand new 36 in the shop, but I'd rather not. I do. We have some spare parts. So, okay. You have our address to ship us to?
I just need to get confirmation on that address. I am seeing 1010 Central Avenue, Woodmere, New York.
Correct.
11598.
Correct.
Perfect. And then did you want to put a job name on this?
Ocean Avenue.
Alrighty. Your sales. Did you have a sales agent that you worked with typically?
Penny.
Penny. Okay. Alrighty. I will go ahead and get this set up for you. With the gold member line, you do qualify for expedited shipping.
Thank you.
So you are going to see that applied to it as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks, Alexa.
No problem. Yeah, no problem. You have a good rest of your day.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, I'm gonna go get the other part from the shop, regardless of how I have to get it, and I'll be right back. Cool? Just do everything else but this.
Yeah.
Condensate, a mastic tape upstairs, duck butter, whatever. All right, I'm at the shop. I'm going to the top shelf in row 15. Top shelf, row 15. It's at at the end. Oh, there it is, collecting dust. ACiQ main board, 3 ton. Oh, amazing. Look at all the dust on it. See? It's collecting dust. This is how frequently you need parts for your ACiQ installs. Why does this look different? Is this different?
I think it looks the same.
Oh, okay. Earlier today I was recording content about standardizing your jobs, right? If you put in the same equipment over and over and over again, not only is your team familiar with the equipment, but God forbid you run into a problem, you can take care of it fast.
Yeah.
Imagine we installed 5 different brands.
Yeah,
That would stink. That would not be getting solved today. That looks really nice. A new condensate pump, new condensate drain, new power brick, new air handler, rib relay, surge protector, line set modifications, float switch. It was really, really nice. How's Nana Claire?
She's good.
You sell any t-shirts at DC HVAC yet?
Just one. Only one person.
Did Nana Claire bought it?
Nope. Derek.
Derek bought it?
Yeah. Spent his whole paycheck on a shirt.
What's the markup on these things? 2,000%?
30%.
Oh.
Or I get 30%.
How much money do you make? $10?
7, 14, 8, 16, $9.
Oh, okay, not bad. You're a nice guy. You're taking that float switch sensor out, aren't you?
I'm trying.
Yeah, don't break the board.
Probably should have taken it out before I put it in.
So, folks, one of the things that I hear most from the 400 plus dealers that have signed up watching my videos with ACiQ is parts kit availability. Now, per se, there isn't exactly a parts kit, but if you're going to buy the same model over and over and over again, I would recommend that you splurge a little bit, or you ask them very nicely to send you a parts kit. That way, God forbid there's a problem on a Christmas Eve, a New Year's Day, Thanksgiving afternoon, or even the day of an install, you can solve the problem in one trip. That was the first time that we took a part from our shop to fix an ACiQ installation. First time. Now, granted, we had a defective coil out of the box last year. We had a power brick die the next day and fry the transformer. That may have been power problems at the location, but we're going to turn this power on right now, and we're going to keep our fingers crossed and our toes crossed and knock on wood 10 times. Okay, let's see what happens. You really throw the condensate brush away.
He did.
And that's you wanted him back.
Yeah.
Teach him. He left the soapy bubbles in the truck. Huh.
Blower is running.
Abracadabra. Oh, it's so sexy, by the way. Look how beautiful this thing is. Love it. There she is, folks. That is a loud outdoor condensing unit. You hear that, folks? That's right, you don't hear that. .45 amps, 2770 watts, 0.2 kilowatt hours, 242 volts at 60 hertz. That's a power factor of 1. Look at that, folks. 11.3 amps of power. Amazing. Folks, this is a 3-ton, 36,000 BTU heating and cooling system using a little over 11 amps of power. What does your air conditioning system use? Folks, in case you're wondering, system has been running for about 15 minutes. We're still at 11.7 amps of power. All right? The numbers don't lie. What are you waiting for? Go to aciq.com/Mikey Pipes. If you want one of these, go to mikeypipes.com/shop. They come in 110 volt, 240 volt models. It's got to specify in the notes you need 110. I have without whip, with 6 or 10 foot whips, and 10 and 12 gauge wiring. What are you waiting for, guys? The technology in the future is today. This is 2026, not 1996. Do it now. Make that change, folks.